And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Oh, we got to enjoy such a good race this weekend, right? The French GP, so good. I'm so glad we get to record all today. I'm so excited. I'm recording from parts unknown. I'm on location, on vacation. I've had all day to think about LK and Jamie's horrible takes, and mostly I've had time to think about how crazy Jamie is in his Charles Leclerc opinion. We will get to that. I know that's what the fans want to hear.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, Mr. Consistency. We have to hear about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So we get treated to some excitement in lap 1, turn 1. So basically what we see lap 1, turn 1 is that Verstappen, he gets in his own head somehow and he forgets how to drive going into turn 1. I mean, I honestly think he was thinking about that his car was going to understeer because after qualifying, he said he had understeer when he was breaking down the lap with Karun, which is a great segment to watch. Yeah. He says that he has some understeer, and I think he goes into turn 1, thinks that he's going to have understeer, but there's a little bit of wind, and then you couple on top of that their low downforce setup, and then a huge track change from 30 to 37C, which I had to look up what that was because the unit means nothing to me. So I changed it to American temperature units, and then it made sense. It was like 15 degrees Fahrenheit higher. But I think all those things, but in the end, didn't matter much past turn 1 though. LK,
yeah.
Do you think he forgot how to drive, Verstappen?
No, but I want to believe the pressure got to him and he fucked it up a little bit. However, the commentators were saying that the wind was also picking up a lot, and there was a lot of wind stream, and that could have factored into his slip and slide there on turn 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happens. He recovered quickly. He didn't lose any other position, just one. And he kept pressuring Hamilton. Like Hamilton wasn't able to open a big lead, and that those like blue and red stripes in the runoffs screw with the tires in a way that's you don't see in other tracks. So for him to run off of turn 1 and not screw with the tires was a huge save.
Yeah,
for him.
Jamie, did you see anything turn 1 that made you doubt your predictions?
No, actually, him making that mistake was perfect for me because it put Lewis on top, Max in second. So I'm like, there we go, I've got my top 2 done.
Yeah.
I think that moment was where they decided to switch to a 2-stop. I think knowing the data, like he slid on that blue sort of paint, which rips the tires. So immediately there, they know we're not going to be able to go long on these tires. That's where I think their strategy changed.
I don't know, because all of them stopped at the same time. Come on. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think that was the moment.
I think that's where they said this is going to be a 2-stop race, at least for Max, just purely because his tires wouldn't have been as good. He's good on bad tires. Like you look at Lewis, when he gets bad tires, he whinges, then he does like 3 best laps in a row. Max is the same. He just doesn't really whinge about it. He'll just say something like, I got vibration, like just a small vibration. Like he doesn't really bitch and whinge like, oh yeah, my tires are gone. I can't handle these tires anymore.
Yeah.
But Lewis didn't open the gap you're used to seeing him, but he did. Yeah, I think it was like 2.7 seconds at one stage. Then he ran wide on one of the corners, which lost like a 1.5 seconds to Max. That was a huge mistake. If he kept that 1.5 seconds, there's probably the potential win at the end of the day.
Not really, because when they all stopped, he was 3 seconds ahead. So he kept that 2.7 to 3 seconds.
It would have been so much more. But, we were talking beforehand. I think, okay, you're right. He fucked up on that in lap somewhere big time, which, we can't see the timings, but that's definitely what cost him.
Don't spoil our, don't spoil our.
Just to flow. Like,
so early in the race, we are treated So we
the best
turn one, but then the worst commentary. Like I don't know what Sky Sports is doing. Like why they feel the need to even talk about VB. I mean, Bottas. Okay, on lap, I wrote it. I was so disgusted when I heard it. I wrote this down. So on lap 5, Crofty says Valtteri is a great support driver. This is just garbage analysis, just complete garbage. And then
wishful thinking.
The only thing that helped was 2 laps later on lap 7, you have Brundle saying, Valtteri, he has been going really good this weekend, except when it mattered in qualifying. I just wanted to drop off the in qualifying part. Just except when it matters, that's when he's great. He's great when there's zero pressure.
No pressure.
Just garbage. I mean, Jamie, are you going to defend VB anymore?
No. I'm a Mercedes fan.
With him.
Only the Lewis Hamilton side because he's a British driver. He's checked out. He doesn't care. He's not a good support driver. Perez is a good support driver because he just does exactly what the team tells him to do. He doesn't bitch. He doesn't say, "Oh, I told you this was a 2-stop strategy." If he knew the way Mercedes worked, I saw a great meme. It was cartoon Toto standing over Bottas saying, "You know that we don't listen to what you say, so why would you tell us it's a 2-stop strategy?" If he just shut his mouth, it's a 2-stop strategy for him, and he probably gets that fastest lap. But
I saw a meme, I think on Facebook. It's a dog with a Mercedes headphone, and the meme says, on top of the dog, Valtteri Bottas saying, "I told you guys you need to listen to me," or whatever he said on the radio, right? And Mercedes like just laughing, because they don't care.
Because George Russell's going to be that second driver.
It's a joke. Yeah, they don't care. Like, I think it's a mix of Bottas trying to be the tough guy that he's not, with Mercedes losing trust. It's just a messy situation. I think really Mercedes is cracking under pressure because they clearly don't have the best car in the grid, or the supreme car, and everything is under a microscope. So you start seeing flaws. Their second driver is not as good as people thought. Their engineers are fucking up left and right in terms of strategy.
Their strategy team's been lucky.
Yeah, when it's like we say, right? When it rains, it pours. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong to Mercedes. They either need to regroup and try to salvage the season or just give up. However, I do have to say that both 2017 and 2018, Vettel was ahead of Hamilton going into the summer break to only Mercedes go and recover and win. So if history has taught anything, is that both Mercedes and Lewis are capable of turning the season around.
12 points.
I think they've been so used to having wide margins, and so like a good example is their pit stops, that they're used to being able to do slower pit stops on purpose. I mean, they've said, we could do a 2.0 stop, but we choose to do 2.2 to 2.5 because it'll be more consistent. There's less chance of there being a problem.
Yeah.
So they're used to living with that big margin, but now they need to shave off those margins, and it's around everywhere. It's from strategy, it's to pit stops, it's to everything. And now that they are starting to crack a little bit under the pressure, but still early in the season. So we'll see if they pick it up. But something that really got shaved was Sir Lewis. He has he has this 3-second lead before the first pit stop, and it magically sublimes into the atmosphere in the matter of 1 or 2 laps. I mean, Jamie, do you have any idea what happened to this 3-second lead that Lewis had?
No, he made a mistake somewhere on that in lap that they weren't showing. He had to have. They noticed they didn't really show Lewis much of that in lap. Just after the voice, like the team radio, like used it all this lap. That was about it. So he's made a mistake somewhere that they haven't ended up showing, because to lose 3 seconds, Max was out on fresher tires and he's really quick on those first out laps and in laps, but that's 3 seconds, man. That's usually you lose like 5/10, not 3 seconds. He's made a mistake somewhere, and that's end up, costing him big time. Cost him track position, which is huge, especially when like you said, the margin for error for Mercedes now is nothing. Like their pit stop was quicker than Max Verstappen's by 0.2, and he still lost 3 seconds. So,
But here's the thing: there was a sequence of events that were so unlike Mercedes, right? Verstappen pits. As soon as Verstappen pits, Bono goes on the radio and says it's hammer time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you expect when you hear it's hammer time? What's your reaction? What's your prediction of what's going to happen?
2 purple sectors.
Yeah, purple sectors, exactly. Yeah.
Well, my expectation is at least like 2 or 3 laps of purple sectors, right? He says it's hammer time. Between sector 2 and 3 of that lap, right, of hammer time, Hamilton comes in the radio and says, "Am I using all of my battery power, or I'm coming in?" And Bono comes to the pit stops and to the radio and said, box this lap. So Hamilton doesn't even have a chance to complete one hammer time lap.
Yeah.
That was very, very unlike Mercedes.
I don't know if it was battery or tires. I thought maybe
No,
it was
but
tires.
He says, "Can I use up? Can I use everything up?" So I'm assuming it's the extra power, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But and then I scoured through the footage. Shout out F1 TV, right? I looked at the Pete's camera. I looked at Vettel's camera. Sorry, at Verstappen's camera. I looked at Hamilton's camera. I was trying to find where they lost 3 seconds, right? So my first data point is that the total lost time comparing Verstappen to Lewis is Verstappen's total pit time was 30 seconds, 0.123. Lewis was 30 seconds, 0.263. So it's just a 0.100 difference. It's not a lot, right? That's not where they lost those 3 seconds. Where I think they lost those 3 seconds was on that second to third sector, where Lewis asked if he should go with all the battery or if he should go one more lap, and Bono told him it was a box. I think he lost time on that third sector. I don't have telemetry because when it's a pit lap, they don't show the third sector time because you're just wasting that sector anyway. So I don't know how much. I tried to look at footage. I couldn't see any bizarre mistake from Hamilton, but my guess would be he lost time on that third sector somehow. So it would be a combination of him losing time on that third sector and Verstappen's outlap, being relatively quick enough to close that gap. That's the only explanation that I can come up with.
Yeah, and if anybody has any clue on where that 3 second went, certainly tweet it at LK and let him know. But it makes no sense. The only thing you can say is that his outlap wasn't good at all. They must have been just so out of whack from
wing lap.
The in-lap was bad, but I think the outlap must have been bad as well, right? There's no because he really had no shot at overtaking it either, right? No. So
I think he got to his head, right? Once he saw Verstappen was in front of him, I think
he was done.
Yeah. I think he screwed with his concentration, but I think again the Red Bull had the better car. Did
you notice part? You know how we say Lewis gets in his head all the time?
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't the team's mistake, because usually it's the team's mistake. He's on the radio. What the hell happened? How did we lose this time? But he was very calm. He's like, he didn't mention he's in front of us. What happened? He just knew something had happened. He'd made a mistake, and now Verstappen was ahead of him.
It's very unlike Lewis. It's not the asshole Lewis. It's like the poor Lewis. I don't like that because then I tend to side with him when he's not an asshole. So I don't like this new Lewis. But kind of segueing into Red Bull.
Yeah,
I think that even if Verstappen didn't pit for the second time, he would have won that race.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Although Lewis is the king of,
he could have held on, right? Yeah, he could have held on, and they could have just had maybe a short scrap at one point, but it didn't seem that their tire deg was too far off from one another. So yeah, I think he would have won either way. Jamie, is that what you think? You think the rightful winner won?
Yeah, well, the Mercedes has a lot of trouble trying to overtake. You see it every time they get stuck in the mid pack, even when they're in second. They, unless they've got DRS top speed, they really struggle. And even that first chicane,
the car's not
designed to lead.
Yeah, exactly.
That first chicane onto that first sort of straight that goes in sector one. Lewis was DRS down the straight, getting within 0.2 of him, and then by the end of that chicane onto that straight, it was back up to 0.9. So there's something about that Red Bull car that he knew every time he came to that point, he was going to break that gap away. And like after those pit stops, that's really what took Max. Like they were real close going into that, but that next lap, he was just going outside DRS zone. And as much as it sucks to admit, I think Max Verstappen was the rightful winner.
And you know they ran so Red Bull they basically split their strategy, right? That they run Perez long because they could. I mean, it didn't seem like they really had to. I think he could have went shorter and still run the exact same strategy as Verstappen, but
there was no pressure.
There was no pressure. It seems they've been running him long most of the season as well. So them splitting, but Perez gives them the option to split.
Yes, not only that,
he doesn't complain when they do it.
Perez is a notoriously good driver in terms of saving tires and taking life off tires. So if anyone would run longer on tires, would be Perez anyway. So it was a good strategy, and they gave the right roles for each driver. Right? They needed an aggressive driver to do the two-pit strategy. They went with Verstappen, obviously, and it paid off. But Perez is the one that can manage that tire and baby that tire until the end. All right, so quick lightning round here for those ones, right? McLaren's performance yesterday,
stunning.
Oh, I actually loved one thing. It was Danny Ricciardo's season in a nutshell. Right, he is fighting with this around lap 11, I think. He's fighting with Alonso for lap after lap after lap, and he finally gets past Fernando. And then 2 corners later, Lando follows him right behind. That is his season in a nutshell. He's like fighting, and then Lando makes it look easy.
I mean, so they finished. They finished 5th and 6th, right? With obviously Norris in front of Ricciardo. But that was such a weird race for McLaren. It was the byproduct of their weirdness. At some point, both of them were way down in the grid. And then with all the pit dance and strategy, they went up. And kudos, I will wear my humble hat here and say kudos to both drivers. Obviously, Norris is my guy, but like Ricciardo did a good race. Brought a lot of good points to McLaren. McLaren has 111 points this season, which is by far the best season they have had in a while.
So 31 points ahead of last year.
Yeah, so they are doing good. They are clearly the third team in the grid at the moment, right? So kudos to them. And same thing with Aston Martin, right? We always jokingly make fun of them, but I think they are the rebound of the season so far. They started pretty bad, and they seem to be addressing whatever aerodynamic problems they have. It showed in the race, 8th and 9th, right?
Yep.
So Vettel is definitely leading the development of that car. He's been getting some love, and that has been translating into performance on track. Obviously, they are not up top where they wanted to be, but they are showing that they want to go back to be the third team or even fight for championships in the future,
where they were last year. Man, you're selling your boy short. Fernando Alonso was 8th.
Sure, Vettel, so they were
Vettel 9th, 10th, but great performance from them. I think biggest takeaway for the weekend for them would be Lawrence Stroll would be looking at his wallet going, saving some money this weekend.
No accidents. I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, right? But I think I'm taking everything back that I said on the first races. Like both Vettel and Alonso just resurrected their careers, and maybe I wasn't patient enough. They're showing that, I'm
not ready to
what Alonso is doing with that Alpine is like no joke.
Killed Ocon in Ocon's home race. Nowhere near top 10.
But the Aston Martin team, I mean, we know that they're good at developing cars. I mean, they've always been kind of the quirky team, right? So it makes sense that they're making some gains somewhere, and maybe the new floors or something caught them all, caught them out a little bit, and then certainly the wing changes to everybody else probably helped them as well. So, but they also had Aston Martin news is that there's been no safety cars.
Yeah. So it's fun fact because that's the second race where they are the safety car of the race, right? The first one was Monaco, no safety cars. Second one, this race, no safety cars. So what's going on? Like they don't want to see Aston Martin car leading the pack.
I'm greatly in tune with people at Aston Martin, Lawrence Stroll, and I'm hearing some rumblings that they haven't been deploying the Aston Martin safety car. They're just worried that it won't be reliable enough to complete a whole lap. So that's what they're saying. I don't know. Maybe we should wrap up with Jamie and LK's horrible picks for this weekend.
Oh, because you were so good. Well, because you were so
I think
good.
I won again.
Better than you guys. So, okay, review it for us.
No, yeah, okay. So from left to right, Jamie got 0 points?
No, Perez and Norris
on his picks.
Perez, Norris, and Ricardo got into Q3, just like I predicted.
So Norris. Okay, Perez in third, Norris in fifth, and you're surprised. So you got 3 points. Good job. Okay. My picks, I got 1 point out of Bottas, right? Pretty much. However, I would like to apply for half point here, because Latifi was en route to beat Russell in Q3 when. Was it Mick that caused the red flag on Q1?
Yeah, in Q1, yeah.
Q1,
yeah. So he was en route. So it could go either way, but I'll take my 1 point.
But in saying that, Russell was also personal best in the first two sectors. He was flying. So for Williams standards,
it's fine. I'll take my point. I was pretty excited about my picks. I royally fucked.
We almost had it, okay? Almost.
I'm gonna talk about some back stage behind the scenes here. All of us on our review, preview prep had Hamilton and Verstappen. Yep. Jason said, "I don't want to have the same picks as you guys. I'm gonna switch."
Right.
So he was lucky.
No, that's because I knew that you guys would be wrong. So I'm just going the opposite of whatever you guys were going to say. But again, only one of us picked the winner. I don't. Somehow you left that part out, and only one of us picked also who would come in second. So that would be me, and I was very close to getting my surprise correct. My surprise.
Well, very close. I was very close too. Fuck off. No, shut up. You got 2 points. Hey, Jamie got more points. Okay.
Well, Jamie was trying to convince everybody that he was close on all 5 of his for some reason.
I was, well, except for Gasly.
Maybe we can go. The most exciting pick is when will Lewis complain about his tires?
Oh, we royally failed on that one because.
If you go with the question, when will Lewis complain about his tires? I think we all win.
Well, okay.
There was a lot of complaints.
So I wrote down every time he complained. He complained on lap 2, on lap 6, on lap 8, on lap 10, on lap 12, and 32. So if we want to go, he did actually complain on lap 32.
Yeah.
So
but
if you want to take that point, you can.
No, I won't.
It's supposed to be when he first complains.
Out of honor, And I was watching with my wife, and then when the radio came on lap 2, I was like, "Son of a bitch, he's killing all of our plans."
I'm like, "You gotta be kidding, man!"
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. But good race overall. I mean, people. I saw some memes. Yeah, I saw some memes saying, "Yeah, you think that Paul Ricard's not fun?" Haha, But at least we got some excitement out of that race. It was a snore fest from lap 6 until 19th, but after that it was pretty good with the switch, and then Verstappen pitting again. Overall, good weekend. Looking forward to Austria, or Styrian. I don't know which one is first, but
it's the
same
Styrian first, I think.
Styrian first, right? Yeah.
Well, same
technicalities.
track,
this weekend,
technicalities here.
We got the answer to a very important question, which is why does nobody listen to Valtteri Bottas? And that is because he is supposed to help Lewis, and he does not help Lewis because he only held up Verstappen for about a 16th of a lap, and he's a bum. And the only thing he did that was good this weekend was he set Lewis up to destroy Paul di Resta.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only thing. Other than that, he's a net negative. So glad this weekend is over. We don't have to worry. He won't even be in contact of the lead this coming week in Austria. So yeah, we'll do the preview race soon, and we'll get to hear Jamie and LK make some more horrible picks, and I'll probably pick the winner again, and they'll somehow think that there's something wrong with that. So.
All right, go back to your reality, okay?
It's race
the one
week.
where I picked the one where I picked the winner. Yeah, I'll do that. All right,
one time.
All right, guys, that was fun. Thank you,
guys.
I'll see you later. Guys. Yeah, see you at the end of the week.